In the heart of India, where cultural diversity and ancient traditions intermingle, there is a surprising and little-known tradition that still persists in some areas: polygamy. You might think this is from old stories or legends, but this video takes you on a real and amazing journey into the lives of people who live in such relationships. From the history of this strange phenomenon to the challenges and experiences of those who have experienced it, join us as we uncover secrets you may have never heard of. Don't miss these incredible stories and facts, and travel deep into one of the most complex and diverse cultural aspects of India. In North India, in some villages such as Dehradun, it is customary for polygamous families where male children in the family marry the first brother, join him, and continue their life with his wife. This young woman you see in the photo is named Raja, and she is the bride of 5 brothers. Rajai, 21 years old, first became a roommate with one brother, and after that 4 other brothers became her legal husband. As a result, a child was born, and they named him Jay. At the moment, Raja does not know which of the brothers this child is. It seems that Raja was ashamed at first, but gradually he got used to having 5 husbands, and today he considers himself lucky. The interesting point is that not all women in this village host 5 husbands. Only Raja is like this, because other women end up having 3 husbands. But she loves all 5 of her husbands, and her wives also love her because each of the 5 brothers equally declares that maybe their son is hers. In India, since 1956, polygamy has been prohibited for followers of all religions except Muslims. Muslims are allowed to have 4 wives, and Hindus living in the state of Goa, along India's west coast, can have up to 2 legal wives. However, polygamy is rare among Hindus, especially since the first wife should not object. It exists in some parts of India, especially in the northern mountainous regions, such as Dehradun and its surrounding areas. This phenomenon is mainly observed in smaller traditional communities and in areas where resources are limited. One of the most famous groups among whom this custom is common is the Tibetan people in northern Indian states, such as Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. In these societies, several brothers may share a common wife, which prevents the family's land and resources from being divided into smaller portions and prevents economic decline. These types of marriages are still traditionally continued in some regions, although with the passage of time and social changes, these customs are less observed. One of the reasons and its root is that in societies where agricultural land or natural resources are limited, polygamy is a way to prevent family land from being divided into smaller parcels. This issue is especially important in agricultural societies, where land is the main source of income and livelihood. With the marriage of several brothers to one woman, the property and lands of the family remain in a single group and are not divided. This helps to prevent the economic weakening of the family. And in some of these societies, the ratio of women to men may be less, and this can be one of the other reasons for the prevalence of polygamy. But how does this custom affect people's daily lives? The reality is that life in such families can be complicated. These relationships often strictly follow certain rules and regulations. For example, in some of these societies, the older brother has the right to marry first, and other brothers join the marriage later. In these societies, there are more men than women, and living conditions are also more difficult. Polygamy means sharing responsibilities and reducing the financial and economic burden of the family. Polygamy is also seen as a strategy to control the population and prevent its excessive increase. When a woman marries several men, the number of children in a family becomes more limited. In a polygamous family, usually all men share a common wife, often a brother. This custom is known as fraternal polyandry. In this type of marriage, brothers live with their common spouse, and all of them play the role of father to the children. Although polygamy is justified in some of these societies for economic and social reasons, it also faces many challenges and criticisms. One of the main criticisms against polygamy is that it violates women's rights. In this type of marriage, the woman may feel that she has lost her right to choose and her independence. Also, social and economic pressure may force her into this type of marriage. With social and economic changes in India, many young people no longer want to follow these traditions. They prefer to start an independent life and look for new opportunities in big cities. Due to cultural changes, higher education, and increased awareness of individual rights, polygamy is gradually declining in India. Today, polygamy is rarely seen in India, and is mostly seen in remote areas and mountain villages. However, this custom is still relevant as a part of the history and culture of these societies, and in some cases, it is seen as a practical solution to economic and social challenges. The final result. Polygamy in India is a multifaceted phenomenon that has arisen due to certain geographical, economic, and social conditions. While this custom is uncommon and even unacceptable in many parts of the world, in some Indian communities, it has become part of the realities of everyday life. With the rapid changes in Indian societies, the future of polygamy is uncertain, but the phenomenon will certainly continue to be an interesting and controversial topic in the study of social cultures and customs. In this video, we get to know one of the most mysterious and lesser-known aspects of Indian culture, polygamy. This issue, which exists in some specific societies for cultural and historical reasons, represents the diversity and social complexities that are clearly seen in India, and it represents how diverse and full of unknowns our world is. Perhaps this phenomenon is unimaginable for many of us, but these differences are what make our world so amazing. Thanks for sticking with us until the end. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it and share your valuable comments with us. Until the next meeting, stay with us and continue to discover new worlds.